Coming to the stage, Mr. Steve Insane.
Oh, wait, forgot my safety precautions. I am Steve Insane, and the last time I was here, my daughter got upset from the video because I wasn't wearing gloves, and they didn't wipe the mic down. And the first thing I said when they handed me the mic was, now that we passed COVID. So, anyway, I'm wearing a thing, I forgot my gloves.
And we wiped.
Just in case, you know. Nobody wants this shit. I don't even know if it's real. People tell me it's real. They know people that died from it, so I believe it.
Oh.
You know, human races survived viruses before it. In fact, I think we were created from a virus, so I'm not sure about the whole rules anymore. I never understood like walking in with a mask, but then I sit down and then I can take it off. But then if I get up again, I have to wear it. COVID doesn't know the fucking difference. I mean, what the hell? Who made these rules? A man with nipple piercings. Anyway, it's not what I was gonna say. So why did I get the name Steve Insane? You'd think I choose that name. No, it was given to me. I get how I got that fakakta name in just a little while. No one knows what fakakta means. It's a Yiddish word. How do I explain it? It means exactly as it sounds. Fakakta. So, my life's so insane. Really? How insane is it, Steve? My life's so insane, I'm glad you didn't interrupt me while I was talking to myself. So thank you for that. I do use open mics like therapy, because I did try and go for therapy. I went to a couple of therapists. We'd be like 2 sessions in, $60, 45 minutes. And I tell them I'm very creative. I like make jewelry, I do open mics, I do karaoke. They said you have to stop all of that. Obviously I'm here and they're dead. So $60, I could spend 20 here and it's a lot cheaper. So yeah, that's why I'm here, because I couldn't sit home anymore. So if I was at home one more day, like trying to write comedy or play the stock market, you know, it was just enough. So I even started dating because I've been married once. And during that 20 years, I did learn what the most dangerous food in the world is. Wedding cake. Thank you very much. So my life's so insane. Okay, how insane is it, Steve? No audience participation. My life's so insane, I texted my bank for my balance earlier. It sent back a sad face emoji. I'll try again later. Maybe that check will clear. When I first heard about social distancing, I didn't go on Facebook for 3 days. So I realized that's not what they meant. Like, I call it fake book, because like somebody said earlier, like, I had a flat tire, like none of my Facebook friends showed up or even offered any help. I do have a friend that seems to use Facebook that way. I'm homeless in the street with all my stuff. Can someone give me a place to stay? And like miraculously, like people come through for him. But you know, that's another state. It's not here. So anyway, I did try dating again, like putting myself back out there. And my friend also was kind of inspired to date after not dating for 6 years. He's like, Steve, like no one's gonna really want me. He at best rates himself a 5, you know, but he has some things going for him. He still has a job and, you know, sort of has his life together. So I'm like, there's someone out there for everyone. He's like, yeah, that's why I met my ex-wife. So anyway, we put ourselves out on these dating sites. And after a while, it starts getting boring, so we had to make a game out of it. You know how to play the card game War? You put a card, if it matches, you go to the next card. So we started rating women from like a 1 to a 10 based on their picture, the profile, and their distance from us. If it's a tie, we just go to the second picture. So far, no one's winning. We'll see how that ends up. What else? Yeah. So he did meet this one woman, and he shows me her picture, and it's like a 9. I mean, like for him, it's like this tall blonde, bosoms out to New Jersey. They ensue in their text, like, you know, messaging back and forth. She calls him a few times. Day 2, he's like, Steve, we're gonna meet this Sunday. And he's like, she says she has an 11-year-old daughter and she works at Walmart. So he gave her his Netflix password for her 11-year-old daughter. And I'm like, really? I'm like, okay. And he's like, yeah, but then I got a weird email that someone signed into my account from Nigeria. He's like, but that happens all the time anyway. I'm like, okay. I'm like, do you know what a catfish is? He's like, no. I'm like, I look it up. I'm like, well, fuck this. I'm like, catfish. She's the cat, the one who likes to play. You're the fish, the one who gets played. He's like, no, we've spoken. She's real. I'm like, okay, I hope it works out for him or her or whatever it is. So I go out to an open mic, the beach, anywhere, just anywhere but there. I come back and he's like, guess what? I go, what, you've been catfished? He goes, yeah, but that's besides the point. It turns out she's not the person she says she is. She sent him another picture of a woman who was more like a 4 or 5, that's from Texas and has a son. And she wants to move to New York, So she's coming here Sunday, and he's going to the airport to pick her up. I'm like, what? What? I'm like, let me get this straight. Mister, I'm afraid of dating and COVID equally for the past 5 months is letting some rando catfishing thing come here from Texas on an airplane. You're picking her up at the airport and bringing her here. He goes, yeah. I said, what about her fake child? Like, fuck you. So that never happened. So, the story of the catfish. Don't get catfished. So I'm a nice guy. Like when I meet a woman on these dating sites and then you kind of chat for a while and then they ghost you, I send them links to my comedy. Some guys send dick pics. That's not my style. I just send links to my comedy. It's like the same thing. And in fact, I was outside earlier and Pat was like, Steve, I didn't know you smoked. I said, yeah, it's one of the bad things I do, kind of like comedy. But here I am. Well, how did I get the name Steve Insane? No one cares, but I'm going to tell you anyway. My dad was the master of ceremonies in the Catskill Mountains, so I'm the last cat of the Catskills. He went by the stage name Lee Sane. He introduced acts you've never heard of, but I have met Jerry Lewis and Red Buttons and a bunch of others. I forget that other Jewish comedian's name. With a car, you turn it this way and it goes that way. Anyway.
Alan King.
No, another guy. Not Alan King. He did a Honda commercial back in the 90s. You turn the wheel this way, but the back goes that way. And, who?
Jackie Mason.
Jackie Mason. I met him a few times. In weird places, I must say. So anyway, he went by the stage name Lee Sane. What do I know at 3 years old? I didn't realize until I'm 12 years old what my name was. I'm cleaning the pool at a hotel for $10 a day, my first job. Didn't know I was paying $12 a day to stay there. At the end of the summer, I actually owe the owner money. Fucking Jews. Which I am one. So they announced me and they go, Steve Insane, please come to the office. Steve Insane. I went, Steve Insane. Thanks, Dad. And that's how that name came to be. The next summer I went up there and I was a busboy against my will. I walked into the dining room for dinner with all these 70 and 80-year-olds expecting to eat. And then the owner comes up to me with his heavy German accent and goes, you want to be a busboy? I went, no. Next thing I know, I'm making $60 a night. I became a busboy. Now the kitchen was interesting, and you can't make this shit up. How much time do I have left? Doesn't matter, it's like sex, I'm happy to be here. So, 2 minutes?
2 minutes.
Perfect. I walk in the kitchen, I get introduced to everybody. 2 chefs, both Asian. One's named Ho, one's named Lee. Holy shit, were they crazy. I walk in, first night, put my hand on the counter, he chops his cleaver down. Don't touch my counter. I knew better than that. It was like cocktail evening, so I asked for more egg rolls. He grabs his crotch and goes, you want more egg roll? I give you a 65-year-old egg roll. Get the fuck out of my kitchen. Just like that. So I went over to the pantry guy, Louis, nice Italian guy. Used to let me eat whatever I wanted in the cold pantry. Okay, go over to the dishwasher. There's Fletcher. Fletcher had a stutter. Unless he had his medicine, which is usually like nitrate. Then the baker, he was the kicker to the whole group. Big guy from like Yugoslavia with a voice like this. I got flashed. Young man, every day for 2-3 summers, young man, come here, young man. You know why old men like onion rolls? Why, Meyer? Because they taste like the pussy. You ever tasted the pussy, young man? He goes, I tasted the pussy 1 time. I'm like, 1 time? How old are you? Every day for 3 years. This was the routine. So one day I walk in the kitchen, and I just see a knife fly by. And I see a cleaver fly by. Apparently, Ho and Lee were having a fight with Louie, and Fletcher was trying to yell, Jack's gonna come in the kitchen. And then Jack walks in the kitchen and goes, what the fuck going on in my kitchen? And he shuts the whole thing down. It was fun when the health inspector would show up, and you'd see Jack offer him like this envelope, food, one of the chambermaids, and they disappear. Every Friday night, the sheriff would come by for his cut from the illegal gambling that went on in every hotel. This place was crazy. I'm like 12 years old, and I felt like I was in the mob, the Jewish mob. So, I don't know what that means. Oh, they just fed you guilt, right? So, in my older youth, my last joke,